Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Usher's ex-wife Tameka Foster starting a petition to have Lake Lanier drained following the accident that took her son's life while he was tubing at Lake Lanier. I believe this was back in 2012. Now, just to give you guys a little back history of Lake Lanier, it was formerly known as Oscarville. One black man bought a plot of land and he sold a piece of that land to another black man. And as such, they built this black community that is known to have consisted of carpenters, blacksmith, bricklayers, black nurses, but at the time for black nurses it was different, right? So the community was a thriving black community until a white woman was found dead near the community after they believed that she was RAPE. So what happened is that, back in those days in 1912, if a crime against someone of if a crime was committed and the person is, lighter, brighter, automatically someone black would have been held accountable, even if they're not the ones who committed the crime. So the entire town of Oscarville, now Lake Lanier, suffered. There were, just think of all the things that could happen to black people back in 1912. It did happen. And as such, the entire community was ruined. Now, what they did after, they basically opened a dam and they directed a few rivers to that town of Oscarville, and they named it Lake Lanier. But the thing about Lake Lanier is that it's known as the haunted lake. There are always, questionable accidents, kids just passing out, kids, getting deleted by way of drowning, even adults as well. It has a history that is known to be really, really scary, really spooky. And oftentimes people, normally advise others not to go to Lake Lanier because it can be very horrific. You can have a very horrific experience there. And that is what happened to Tameka Foster. On July 6th of 2012, her 11-year-old son, Kyle Glover, was riding on a inner tube on the lake when he was hit by a jet ski. Now, it said that it was a family friend who was riding this jet ski. This family friend happened to do 4 years in jail because of this. Now, after her son got hit by the jet ski, she had, divorced Usher before that. I think the divorce was like maybe a little bit over a year or so. So Usher had run to her assistance, but her son, after he got it, he then died because his injuries were very serious. So her son died, and as such, she's still living with that trauma. So Tameka Foster has now started a petition on the 11th anniversary of the incident. So what she did, she posted a tribute to her son on Instagram with a push to her change.org petition. She says, and I quote, "Let's ensure a safer future by demanding improved safety measures, better zoning, and the removal of haunted debris from the lake. Join me in signing the petition and sharing this vital cause. Together we can create a fresh start and bring about lasting transformation." So she wants the lake to be drained because, even though we know of Tameka Foster's case, if you go on TikTok, like, there are hundreds of parents, relative, friends who have similar encounter. I remember coming across the story of this mom. Her son just was there. She had her eyes on him, and by she, put her hand in a cooler to get a bottle of water. Her son disappeared right before her eyes. He went underwater. It is unexplainable how that happened, but he, went under, and she was some distance away, but she was still able to see what was going on. She screamed, she yelled. The lifeguards that were on duty, they tried to pull the little boy from under the water, but seems as though they didn't know his exact location where he went down. So his mom had to swim over there, rescue him. He flatline when the emergency team arrived, but they were able to resuscitate him. And after a few days, he was released from the hospital. His case was a fortunate case because normally, if you go down like that at Lake Lanier, you only come back up when you're, gone. And that is the experience for many, many, many families. And as such, there have been so many stories being shared on social media, like so many times about Lake Lanier. But the reality is, they have built this entire history around Lake Lanier. They tell you about the benefits, the resources, and all of that. And also, it is said that it is a watershed for, I believe, Atlanta or another state. So, as such, I believe that it's going to take a lot of work for, for them to even consider draining Lake Lanier. Like, they're going to have to compile all the cases from the family. They're going to have to make this a legal action first, like a class action lawsuit. They're going to have to provide evidence of paranormal activities before an action of draining Lake Lanier can happen, and for the area to be seen as a historic landmark and a protected site. It's going to take a lot of work to get there. So I don't want to dismiss Tameka's efforts. I can only imagine her pain. I've never had that experience, but I can just imagine, the trauma, the heartache, with her having that nightmare, and especially if she has to pass the lake occasionally for whatever reason, it can be really traumatic for her. So I definitely understand her stance, but at the same time, they're definitely not gonna drink Lake Lanier. Now, she's saying that, she wants the lake to be drained, cleaned, and restored with safety measures to ensure the well being of all individuals engaging in personal watercraft and recreational activities. Draining, cleaning, and restoring Lake Lanier is not only necessary but also an opportunity to honor the memory of those who have lost their lives and prevent further tragedies. We appeal to the relevant authorities, including government officials, environmental agencies, and stakeholders, to prioritize this critical undertaking. That's what she wrote in her petition. She also says that we urge you to allocate the necessary resources, expertise, and funding to initiate the draining, cleaning, and restoration process completely. So I believe that what she's also pushing for is for the graves that are there, because under Lake Lanier there's a black cemetery because it was a black town, and I believe that there has been many petitions before for them to, do a burial relocation. Based on my understanding, if you should dive to the bottom of Lake Lanier, you would see, some of those graves are remnants of some of those graves. But guys, this is really all I want to share in this video with you guys. Let me know, are you familiar with the history of Lake Lanier? And do you think that Tameka Foster's petition will be successful? I want to hear from you guys. While you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up, share if you care, and see you all next time. Bye, guys.